Imagine a world where gods walk among mortals, where the fate of men is dictated by divine whims, and where honor, pride, and vengeance are more important than life itself. Welcome to the world of Homer's Iliad, an epic poem that has captivated audiences for over 2 millennia. But don't be fooled. This isn't just a dusty old book full of ancient battles. The Iliad is a story about people, about love and loss, rage and redemption, and the struggles we all face in the pursuit of what we hold dear. The Iliad is set during the Trojan War, a 10-year siege of the city of Troy by a coalition of Greek states. But here's the catch. The poem doesn't start at the beginning of the war, nor does it end with the famous Trojan horse and the fall of Troy. Instead, Homer zeroes in on a few weeks in the final year of the conflict. Why? Because these weeks are filled with the events that will define the fate of both the Greeks and the Trojans. The war itself was sparked by an event that could easily come from today's tabloid headlines. Paris, a Trojan prince, abducts Helen, the most beautiful woman in the world, from her husband, Menelaus, the king of Sparta. This isn't just a personal slight, it's a matter of honor, and in the world of the Iliad, honor is everything. Menelaus, along with his brother Agamemnon, gathers a massive Greek army to sail to Troy and bring Helen back. But as we'll see, this story is about much more than a simple rescue mission. At the heart of the Iliad is Achilles, the greatest warrior of the Greeks. Achilles is a complex character, a man driven by both his incredible talents and his equally immense pride. From the moment the poem begins, we're thrown into the chaos of his rage, a rage that has dire consequences for both sides. So why is Achilles so angry? It all begins with a conflict between him and Agamemnon, the Greek commander. After a successful raid, Agamemnon demands the return of a captured woman, Briseis, who had been given to Achilles as a war prize. When Agamemnon insists on taking Briseis for himself, Achilles feels utterly humiliated. In his eyes, Agamemnon's demand is an unforgivable insult to his honor. Think of it like this. Imagine you're the top performer in your company, but your boss takes credit for your work and then strips you of a well-deserved promotion. That's the kind of wound Achilles is dealing with. But in the brutal world of the Iliad, the stakes are life and death. In response, Achilles withdraws from battle, refusing to fight for Agamemnon and the Greeks. This single decision sets off a chain of events that will lead to unimaginable loss. But the Iliad isn't just about the mortals on the battlefield. The gods play a significant role, acting as both instigators and manipulators of human events. They're like a group of meddling relatives, each with their own favorites and grudges, stirring the pot just to see what will happen. Zeus, the king of the gods, tries to maintain some level of control, but even he is swayed by the requests of other gods and goddesses. Hera, Athena, Apollo, and Aphrodite all have their favorites in the war, and they intervene often, sometimes to help their chosen mortals, and sometimes to make their lives more difficult. This divine interference adds another layer of complexity to the story. It's as if the characters are caught in a game of cosmic chess, where the players aren't always aware they're even on the board. For the audience, this interaction between gods and mortals is a powerful reminder of the unpredictability of life, how events often feel beyond our control, dictated by forces we can't see or understand. On the Trojan side, we have Hector, the noblest of the Trojan warriors, and a man who embodies the virtues of honor, duty, and love for his family. Hector is often seen as the tragic hero of the Iliad. He knows that Troy is doomed, but he fights on because it's his responsibility to protect his city and his loved ones. Hector's love for his family makes him a deeply relatable character. His farewell to Andromache and his son is one of the most poignant moments in the poem. He knows that he may not return from battle, but he faces his fate with courage and resolve. It's moments like these that remind us why the Iliad has endured for so long. It's not just about war, it's about what we're willing to fight for. The tension between Achilles and Hector builds to a climax in one of the most famous duels in literature. Achilles, driven by a desire for revenge after the death of his close friend Patroclus, confronts Hector outside the walls of Troy. This duel isn't just a battle between two warriors, it's a confrontation between two different ideals of heroism. Achilles is fueled by a personal vendetta, while Hector fights for the survival of his people. The outcome of their duel is both inevitable and heartbreaking. Hector is slain, and with his death the fate of Troy is sealed, but Achilles' victory is hollow. His anger and desire for revenge have consumed him, leaving him with nothing but the ashes of his triumph. The Iliad ends not with the fall of Troy, but with an act of humanity. Achilles returning Hector's body to King Priam, Hector's father, for a proper burial. This moment of compassion amidst the brutality of war is a powerful reminder of the complexity of human emotions. It shows that even in a world defined by conflict, there is room for empathy, understanding, and forgiveness. The themes of the Iliad, honor, pride, rage, love, and the influence of fate, continue to resonate with us today. Whether we're dealing with personal conflicts or global issues, the Iliad reminds us of the timeless nature of these struggles. In the end, Homer's epic isn't just a story about ancient warriors. It's a reflection of the human condition, of the battles we all fight in our hearts and minds. So, the next time you face a challenge that feels insurmountable, remember Achilles and Hector. Remember their courage, their flaws, and their humanity. Because in their stories, we can find our own. The Iliad isn't just a tale of war. It's a mirror that reflects our deepest fears and greatest hopes. A story that, despite being over 2,000 years old, still speaks to the very core of what it means to be human. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Homer's Iliad. Whether you're a longtime fan or a newcomer to this epic tale, we hope you've found new meaning and inspiration in its timeless words.